Should I beatbox?
Yo, are we live? We're live.
Check 1 2 1 2.
We got the homies in the building. We got Quim.
What's up?
What up, brother? Long time no see. How you doing? We got Greg,
Happy to be here.
special guest. You know, we got CJ as usual, the
What's up,
co-host,
y'all? How you doing?
California Jacob.
What up?
What's going on, man? How you
How's
doing?
everybody doing? Good, good.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
For sure.
It's been a minute since I've been in New York.
Yeah.
I think the last time we bumped into each other was over the Huff's
At the
memorial.
Huff's Memorial. Yeah,
Correct,
yeah.
yeah. And
Everybody was a little down.
yeah,
Had a couple beers. You know, the vibe was like nice, but you know, it was under unfortunate circumstances.
yeah.
Rest in peace, Huff.
But we do this in memory of
bless the
Huff, Keenan, Justin Pierce, Harold Hunter, my brother. So many
For sure.
great fallen skaters, but they still, you know, they live right here in our hearts.
That's right. That's right.
Brothers never die.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
How's everything been, man? How's this pandemic been treating you? You been good? You been fam and friends?
Yeah,
Everybody good?
I've been very blessed and just fortunate to hold down a job that I'm considered an essential worker. So I took a 2-week quarantine, but I was able to get back into routine, working kind of isolated in a building by myself. But it's, you know, I work with a small group. It's like it's got smaller through the pandemic. But I'm just very fortunate to be employed full time.
tell
I
me
got
about it.
benefits and everything. You
I
know,
mean, that's the main thing
and
about
I'm-
this whole situation.
you know,
is
I just look out for my son and maintain just paying the bills. You know, and I'm able to have some free time to work on my art and my craft and skateboarding and.
yeah, I
just-
feel like
just
you
stay-
do so many things. Like you do music, you do art, you skate, you hold it down. You're a dad, full-time job.
It's a juggle. It's difficult, but everything's possible.
Uh-huh.
And you just have to just maintain. Taking care of yourself is the first thing, and just, you know, I take so much more is been I've been my girlfriend and I focus so much more on our health, like not to get sick and not to even catch a cold.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
it's like.
Even before all of the pandemic,
Yeah,
and like that,
before,
you kind of lived a
but
healthy
more
lifestyle.
during this pandemic. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? We'll take fresh ginger and just chop it up in a blender and mix
Yeah.
it with some alkaline water and,
Uh-huh.
and just sip on that. And
You're
then
on your healthy shit.
we'll take our Irish
Yes.
moss and our black seed oils and our apple cider vinegar shots.
That's
Like,
what's up. The sea moss.
yeah, just
Yeah.
you gotta keep the joints, you
Uh-huh.
know, lubricated, and you gotta just stay loose. You know,
sure.
you gotta continue to stretch and just like put a little
Healthy
little
lifestyle.
time. Yeah, it's a juggle, man, because you know we live in a fast food.
So Greg is the homie here, and just so everybody out there knows, you guys been close for a while now. Greg, tell us a little bit about yourself, or tell the people, the world, let the world know, bro.
Thanks for having me, y'all. I'm Greg Simmons. I'm a longtime skateboarder,
Uh-huh.
skate enthusiast. I grew up watching you guys, and yeah, I've known Quim going on 10 years now. He's like
It's amazing.
my Virgo brother.
Where did you
Yeah.
guys meet?
We met probably through like Atlantic City.
Met you at a skate jam. You were
Maybe
having
it's-
a
oh, yeah.
art
I was
with Ron
doing-
Chapman.
I was doing a skate jam. It was an art show, skate jam, live show with music, like MCs. It was at a skate park called the Garden Skate in New Jersey. Rest in peace to the owner, this guy Todd, and his son later. But he gave me the space to. I cooked food for the event. I made rice and beans and like.
Oh, damn.
We were serving plates of food. People were skating. looking at an art show, buying art. I sold a Chad Muska painting that he gave me to a skater that really appreciates it. I'm sure he has it in his room, framed in glass.
I'm trying to get a Chad Muska painting.
But like, you know, Ron Chapman was there,
right now.
and yeah, Ron Chapman's just like he's one of the biggest influences on me.
Yeah.
I don't know, just World Industries, just watching his, being able to get closer to him over the years was awesome. To like meet his mom, his dad, and like see his museum of skateboards in the garage.
Me and Ron Chapman used to be pretty close when I skated for 60/40. I used to hang out with him a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then after
60/40,
everything, after
Gino
that kind of
Perez.
ended, yeah, exactly.
Wow.
We kind of lost touch, but
Stephen Callis.
yeah, how did you guys become close?
Wow, man. You know, I looked up to that guy. He came in a pink Cadillac with Jim Thiebaud way back in the day. He came to Roosevelt School in Westfield, New Jersey for a T-shirt Emporium demo.
Oh, wow.
This was like 89, 90, you know, and he was with Chris Pastris. Those guys, I think Gons was there.
Okay.
So it was a big demo. And I was just a little kid. I was like 12. And Jim Thiebaud was like, hey, who you guys want a board? I'm like, yeah. He's like, you sponsored? I'm like, yeah. He's like, I can't give you a board. But I think he remembered me like years later, you know? 'Cause I rode for a company called Baticoli.
You learned a quick lesson then, right? You're like, okay, let me not put it all out there.
Don't say too much.
Yeah, I was just this
Don't
little
say too
kid,
much.
just like having fun on my board. And we would always like show up to the demos like hours before they showed up, you know?
Yeah.
It was like so psyched.
Oh man. So like originally, I know you've probably told the story a million times, but I like to personally know how people got into skating in the first place.
That's a good question. I had an older brother. I still have an older brother. I grew up with a twin, Mike Cardona, and he's
God bless,
deceased
rest
from
in peace.
1998. And but we grew up, you know, doing skating and art together, graffiti and like music, and he was much better than me at all those things. But my older brother Richard, he worked in a surf shop, and he was a surfer. You know, he was like he left the house at 18, and he was always like on his own. You know, like we had the same father, different mothers.
Okay.
So. But he was a big influence on me. He gave me a Stacy Peralta board, a Gordon Smith.
Oh damn.
This is old OG
wow.
board with OJ Juice wheels, like a little freestyle sidewalk surfer.
He got it from the shop that he worked in?
I guess he would use that board to hold his surfboard to go surfing, you know. And then back in the 70s, I have photo albums of skate parks, concrete cement parks. I think there were more skate parks in New Jersey than California
That's crazy.
at one point. Before the insurance took over and they just demolitioned all the parks.
Because that was a thing. People started getting hurt, and they were like, "Oh, this is a liability." And then all the skate parks across the country started closing down.
Right. I just remember growing up, we had a poster. It was a Powell Peralta poster with all the names of the skate parks in New Jersey, and they crossed them out.
You know? It was like one after the other. Like, oh man, what's left?
Yeah. So we grew up with just abandoned gas stations. We didn't really have many parks growing up. We had, Bricktown Skate Park was where they had the first big pro contest. Eric Costin, they just kind of showed some highlights over last week. I think Eric Costin, happy birthday.
Oh.
And but it was just showed some old photos of him doing a 360 kickflip over the hip, and we were all there. It was amazing, man, to watch those guys skate back then.
We were kind of talking about it before you got here that Jersey. I mean, obviously New York has so many amazing skaters, but Jersey seems to continuously just crank out generation after generation of great skaters. And Greg was saying he looks at it like it's Jersey is like an incubator for skateboarding, where it's like people just kind of like maybe there's less distractions or something than the city or something like that. I don't know.
Maybe just like the city is a place to perform and prove yourself. Like it's a place where you could get a lot of new information and show yourself out. And you know, show the world what you're about. And I think that was the drive when we were kids. Like it was competitive. It was like, yo, Lee's at the spot. Oh, he just kick flipped the wall. Oh man, I gotta do a heel flip. You know, I gotta like we always would push each other on those levels, to get better, you know, and to improve.
It was competitive back in those days. Especially if people showed up from out of town or like somewhere else, or even from like a different neighborhood or whatever, it'd be like, oh, what does he got? Like, what does
it's
he
just
do?
what I felt like. We were kids, like getting out of high school, jumping on the trains, making our way to the Brooklyn Banks, and I wrote. There was a Juice magazine. This is years ago. I wrote something called the Path Train Rush. It was just a little article about the feeling that that stirred us up, like in the process of just going to the Brooklyn Banks. You know, it was like feeding the fire. You know what I mean? Like we had so much energy, we would just spend hours there.
How old were you when you started going down there?
Well, I was. My mother is from New York City. She grew up in Manhattan, and we would go visit our grandparents in like the late '80s. Up in Harlem, like Amsterdam Ave, 121st, like over there.
Shout out Harlem.
Shout out. And so she took us to the Brooklyn Banks once. We had a station wagon with a launch ramp in it, and we brought the launch ramp to the banks, and everybody jumped on that. It was like a launch ramp session for forever. I still have photos from that day. It was like the first time we ever stepped foot on the Brooklyn Banks.
Where did you get the launch ramp? You guys built it, or like?
Yeah, it was just like a little kicker, you know, and like. Man, there were so many good skaters back then. They were older, like in their teenagers, you know. So there was this kid named Garcia, Darren Garcia from Staten Island, and he skated for Blatant, and Blatant was around like when Shut was really popping. There was some good skaters from Staten Island. You'd be surprised. They had ramps back then out there. But Chris Riley was one of them. I don't know. You know, Peter Hahn.
Was he from Staten Island?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
But, who was your immediate crew at this time? Like, who were you skating with every day?
Wow. Well, we have some really good photos that surfaced just this last year from a photographer named Sue Kwan. Okay. And she, I believe it's like Loki. That's his wife.
Okay,
girlfriend. But she sent me some photos from like 94, 95 of us just goofing around. You know, we were like in the city already, like under bad influences, you know, smoking cigarettes.
Already getting into trouble, smoking cigarettes.
Just, you know, stuff we shouldn't have been doing. But we were happy. I had a crew, you know, Andy, Enyu. Shout out to Enyu. We had my friend Rashawn. Shout out to Rose Bose. You know, all these people are on Instagram nowadays, and it's amazing to see everybody just like surviving and just like raising their kids to skate, and also like just kind of passing it on.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah. Keep pushing.
What was going on at the banks in those days? Like, what kind of stuff would you see down there?
Man,
I know.
Well, the whole, you know, under the bridge, it used to be open. Now it's, you know, now it's fully sealed. The archways. So it used to be open, exposed. Like you just look into pitch black. And you would see a TV like in the far corner, and you'd be like, "Holy crap!" And then you'll see the extension cord coming out all the way up the banks to the light pole.
Like down by like the big banks, there's the archways you like wallied off of it or something
Yeah,
like that.
there was the big part of the banks,
Yeah.
but this was the small banks.
Okay. So in the back, but in front of the banks, that used to be open and like people would like camp, like kind of camp out. And hang out
Like the
there.
homeless people would live there. They had sofas. They would light the trash cans on fire.
Yeah.
It was some real. It was like we were skating around this, man. And but you know, the place always smelled like just lots of piss and just bird shit all over the place. It was a foul, filthy place to be, but we loved it. I mean, we would go home dirty.
The interesting thing about that is that that's the reason probably why you could skate there, because nobody else wanted to be there. Right?
I hope it built our immune system up a bit. You know, at least made us stronger.
Staph infection on my back from falling and scraping my back on the banks.
Oh,
On the
yeah?
bottom of the ground, yeah. And I thought it was a pimple, and I popped it, and it came back, and it kept coming back, and I went to the hospital, and they had to cut it out.
Oh damn.
Give me antibiotics and all that. And I was like, damn, banks
That's
goes
crazy.
hard, dude. You gotta be careful.
But when we were
Thanks, and you
before
forever.
we got really close to like getting on reel and doing this and like, you know, the banks was like a place to like just see some of your favorites, you know,
Yeah.
and we got to know them. You know, we got to know Huff, we got to know Keenan, and like it's like and Harold, and they would take us with them. You know, skate around the city and just like blow your mind with tricks they already were pulling, and it was just like, you know, you learn a lot. You learn a lot about New York and the community that we had, and I think there's still that vibe is still around. You know,
For sure.
absolutely.
Definitely. And was there any kind of like Jersey, like you guys are from like in the beginning, like, oh, these are the Jersey kids?
Well, you know, a lot of the shut riders were from Jersey. You had
Yeah.
Felix Arguelles.
Yeah.
You had Sheffy. Well,
Yep.
Sheffy was DC, right? And then you had Coco Santiago.
Coco Santiago.
You
yeah.
had Mike Kepper, Barker Barrett. He was from
Damn.
Bethlehem, like Cheapskates. But, you know, there was Derek Rinaldi, shout out. And he's working with the Fifth Pocket guys now. They're working on building a new park in Tom's River.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Park looks sick.
Yeah,
Shout
it
out
looks-
Fifth
it looks
Pocket.
awesome.
Yeah. What is it? What is it called?
Well, Fifth Pocket is the name of the company that builds these skate parks.
Okay.
So I think they built a few in the past couple of years. One in Long Branch. They made an extension over the past year. There's one
They
in
helped make our Atlantic City
Neptune,
Park.
and they helped do the Atlantic City.
There's an AC park.
Yeah, it's back of Sauve. It's on Sovereign Ave across from the Boys and Girls Club.
Okay.
And
They did a lot of parks in Philly as well.
and when we did the opening for that, it was real cool. It was small but special, you know. We got some of the Borgata gave us donuts and pizza and water, and then but we were
Did you say
there.
Bogota?
We were there. What?
Bodega or Bogota?
The Borgata Hotel, like
Oh, okay, I
a
was
part of
gonna
like
say.
the casinos and
Okay.
you know, I think Jay Klotz and this guy right here did a lot of work with the Skate AC guys to organize it and just kind of bring something special to the city.
Nice.
That's what's up. AC, and then
Big respect.
there's like the kind of DIY spot in AC too, right? Is that the spot?
Yeah, started off
Yes.
as a
Oh, okay.
DIY, and then
Uh-huh.
we built our own stuff. City tore it down.
Yeah.
And Klotz went and championed for
I think
it
you
in
should
City Hall.
interview Klotz about that. He's got the
Yeah?
details about
He's got
that.
the details?
Yeah,
Mayor.
because we met the mayor, and but it was cool because he said he met the mayor. He met the young mayor when the old mayor was going out, and it was all a matter of time for the skate park to emerge.
Oh
you know,
wow. Okay.
but it was awesome.
I think I seen a YouTube where you guys were all ripping it at that park. I don't know exactly what it's called, but everyone should look out for that. It's a good YouTube clip video.
Yeah, we used to have the rad movement. We would do things with the community, and before it was even an established park, we would do beach cleanups, and we would get the boat company that would do all the tours. They would give all the kids a free boat
pass
ride and
for a boat ride.
pizza shop,
We
would give
had
us food.
Tony
we hooked it up. It
Baloney's.
was
Yeah.
fun.
Supported us. Who else did we have support from? A local grocery store. What
The
was that?
Boom.
The Boom.
Shout out to
So there was a lot of local. It was community.
community
vibes
hooked us
put
up.
together.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't a
absolutely.
lot going on like that. We didn't have a big skate
It's
community
still
that was
pretty
open.
small.
Shout out the Rad movement.
That's what's up,
Blast.
man. That's what's up. Did you ever skate at the Banks with that dude? I think his name was Kyle James. He used to like skate in Tim's. He was like a
Yeah.
legend down there, right?
Yeah.
He's a legend.
I remember that. Dude.
Yeah, that dude threw his board at my he whizzed his skateboard at my brother once, and
Oh,
it
damn.
was all because like, you know, you didn't want to get in that guy's way when he was skating. He had a lot of built up anger, and I just think he was brought up in a harsh environment, and he used skateboarding as a way to get away from it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of skaters in New York
A lot of
use
people.
skateboarding as like an escape,
For
you
sure.
know? And it's a way out.
It's
from-
a lot. It's a better option than a lot of other options. that are
Yeah,
out
absolutely, man.
Thank you, skateboarding.
there.
Thank you.
I think that guy's more known than he even think he is. Because
I-
I've had people be like, because I'm from Cali, so people be like, oh, New York. Oh, so I seen that one dude with the Timbs. And
Yeah.
everyone brings him up.
Yeah,
It's
that was
crazy. They
iconic
don't even
at the
know his
time, you
name.
know?
They bring him
Huh?
up.
Yeah, it was iconic at the time to see
Yeah.
anybody
You gotta look at like
getting busy in Tim.
who skates in Tim's nowadays.
No, yeah, right.
There's this one guy named Ferg in Atlanta.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out
Ferg.
to Ferg.
Okay.
Yo, my man rips in a pair of Timbs. I mean, I don't see anybody doing it anymore.
But now that's like more intentional though. Like
Yeah.
the boy, the homie back in the day, he was just. It was more like that's what he had.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
I'm
Rough, rugged, and raw.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Chris Franzen. Chris Franzen.
Chris Franzen, the white notice, man. That guy had so much pop in a pair of Timbs.
Switch front side,
With
shove it over a
Timbs?
table, yeah, on
Wow.
flat.
Respect.
That's true.
I used to do construction in San Francisco, and when I got off of work, I'd be like, so I'd just walk down to the island. Like, so the island's like the skate spot now.
Yeah.
So I go down there, there's a whole bunch of people skating, and I always gotta be like, oh, let me use your board, let me use your board.
Is the island Alameda?
No, the island, that is the island, but the island is kind of like the more modern day EMB. It's kind of leftover of like whatever is going on down there.
It's
Yeah.
like next to remember how there's the ferry building?
The Bay Piers?
It's like Embarcadero's right here,
Yeah.
and then in the middle,
In the middle.
between the ferry
Okay,
building.
there's a statue.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They skate that.
And so
There's
that didn't
ledges and stuff.
in the
yeah.
90s. That little zone didn't exist.
Oh, wow.
It used to be
So yeah,
used to be a freeway right there,
Yeah, it
and
used
then
to
it
be a freeway.
dropped. It fell during the earthquake,
Oh,
and then
wow.
they built that there.
yeah.
Oh, my
But
God.
like, I used to try to like skate, and I used to rip too in the Timbs. But dude, after a couple days, my knees, I could
Well,
barely walk.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like crazy.
like
Messes
I'll
putting
you
tell you
ankle
one
weights
thing,
on.
man.
Yeah.
Wearing skate shoes all my life, my feet got flat.
Yeah.
Then ever since I started my job like 3 years ago,
Uh-huh.
I wear boots, like steel toe boots, hard toe boots, and it built my arch support back. So it's like,
Oh, damn.
I always tell guys like wear boots during the week when you're not skating. You know,
For
walk
sure.
around just to build your arch back.
Definitely.
Because having flat feet, it just brings more pains.
Oh, totally.
you
Can
know?
I ask you?
Yeah.
Do you use insoles or do you use the standard like what they give you?
No, I buy some like Dr. Scholl's or like some.
Yeah.
I use the Converse or
Respect.
I think Vans got some good insoles,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah, for
I'll
sure.
take insoles out of old shoes and
Old
just
shoes
put
are-
them
I
in,
mean,
even if I
insoles
have
are
to
huge.
double it up, you know.
Yeah, man.
But it's important. Bob Pulio used to cut his half cab tongues out. He used to do double tongue.
Yeah. A lot of
The
people
double
used to do that
tongue.
one too. Yeah.
So
I don't really.
know.
That's
That
what
was,
I came
just,
into
that,
skateboarding.
that was more for an aesthetic.
Yeah.
That was more for
Yeah,
a look,
yeah.
though.
Yeah, we were all definitely
There was
cutting the
no-
tongue
Wow.
we
Because
really-
Chris Pastris also, he was one of the first people to cut a half cab high top,
Yeah.
duct tape it up,
Oh yeah.
and turned it into a mid top.
Yeah.
And then he also used to dye the suede different colors. So he used to show up to a spot with like
The
like-
freshest.
maroon, red half cabs, and we'd be like, where'd you get those from? You know?
Did you ever dip them in bleach? I know a lot of people were
Yeah.
bleaching them, and they come a crazy color you can't get.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back in the day.
Yeah, I just would reupholster them with like, I did little mosaics like with like fabric, you know.
That's sick.
For sure.
Just little, but nothing serious.
Let's talk about, so you're skating, you're starting to do your thing, you're skating the banks, and then you go to SF at like 14 years old, right?
Yeah.
That is young, man.
Yeah, we were young.
How did your mom let that happen? Like
My mom was there.
Oh, she was?
Yeah. So my
Shout out
brother,
Quim's mom.
my mother, and myself, we flew out to San Francisco.
Uh-huh.
We stayed by the wharf, and we went to visit Matt Fields. He was there.
So you knew him already?
Yeah, my
from
mom was
Jersey.
his like second mom,
Okay.
basically.
Okay. So you guys kind of, you and Matt Field, you guys grew up together.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
like we met in Edison, New Jersey, behind a grocery store. There was like a do-it-yourself park, you know. It was called Inman Grove, and it was, I guess his mom owned a pizzeria there, and then rest in peace to his moms. But my mom was like his second mom. Like
Okay.
just gave so much love to all my friends. My mom was like motherly to all my friends. Always opened the door, fed my friends, took us places. You know, I don't think there was too many support people like that. Like
That's
she was
amazing.
like a rock, you know.
Uh-huh.
And we went to visit Matt because he got his girlfriend pregnant. And
Okay.
he had his first child.
So he's a little bit older than you.
Yeah, but he was young. He was 17.
He was 17.
You know, he was a baby too at the time. You
But
know?
he was already out in SF, like making moves, I guess. and
Yeah, I
skating.
thought
Yeah, he
from
was.
out there, honestly, I thought he was from SF.
Yeah, he was skating hard. He was already like in with Deluxe, like getting flowed from Thebo and Jim and Tommy G and those guys, and it was a trip, bro. But I tell you this: 1 year before that, we all went to Woodward, and it was Mark Waters was the director of the park at the time. This is a long time ago. Shrugi was the team manager of Spitfire. He had long hair.
Yeah.
He was like a hippie.
Shout out to Shrugi.
And shout out to Shrugi. And then Matt Fields buddied up with him as soon as we got there. And then Jim, the pros that we had, the guest pros that came to visit us, campers at the time, it was Salman Aga and James Kelch.
Oh,
And
damn.
it was so much fun. Those guys they were like, who got the cigarettes? That was the first question they asked me. Oh, John Cardiel was there, and he was doing head high, like airs in the half pipe, and screaming at the top. Be like, oh!
And you're like 12 or 11
Yeah,
or
we
something?
were like 13. And then he would have a whole pocket of candy. He'd be like, want some candy? Oh, no. This is when he had that board. It was an Ever-Slick graphic with candy on it. I don't know if you remember that board.
And that must have been the fuel to his fire.
Yeah.
Want some candy, little boy?
Yeah. But we watched, this is when John Cardiel was raging.
Legend.
Raging.
sure.
I went on tour with him on a deluxe tour.
That's good.
And man, so much magic happened. Watching people, I mean, it was scary at the times too. You know, like that guy sleeps with his eyes open.
So you kind of already made a connection
He's a
with
strong
them.
fellow.
You made a connection with them at Woodward before you went out to SF, kind of.
I think, I won a contest there when I was 13 at Woodward. I don't think they were scouting people at the time. It was still early in the 90s, like before. I think they started like scouting us when I met Tommy G and Jim Thebo through Matt Fields. Like we were at Wallenberg. He was like, yo.
So you're at, this is the year later. You
Yeah,
go to
94.
SF. Yeah.
Skating Wallenberg. Like I could remember, like it's like a photographic memory to this day. Like just like the tricks I was doing, and I was a 5-0 kickflip out on the ledges, and like
At Wallenberg.
guess
And you're
it
like, yo,
caught
did
their
they see that?
attention.
Did they see that?
back then, And we started getting boards. I was in high school at the time, and then I graduated high school '96.
How long was that trip? Like, how long were you in SF on that trip?
That was just a real short trip. It
Okay.
had been like 2 weeks.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we actually convinced our mom to drive us to Santa Barbara,
Which is not close.
to the Powell Peralta to the Powell Peralta skate park before they closed.
That's a good 6-hour drive.
Yeah, we did it. We did it.
Shout out
We
to
were
Mom.
staying in a
Shout out to
small
Mom
town.
Dukes.
We were
Shout out
staying
to all
in
the
like
moms killing it.
Montebello, I don't know, somewhere in a little town, you know. But yeah,
You were like, yo, Mom, we got to hit this one
oh,
thing.
she was so pissed.
Not that far.
But we made it.
Oh, my God.
I remember seeing
awesome.
Chris Branagh there.
Oh, the little guy, little
The
World
dude was
Industries
doing
guy.
switch heel flip, switch back to tail slides.
Oh,
in
he
90
was
wow,
good.
dude.
I don't know. Do you guys remember that kid? He was like a young protege that rode
I
for
think Steve Rocco.
for like
right?
World Industries, and he ate worms in a video.
Yeah, he was like, they're dorks. Like,
yeah,
weird little kid.
But then he
Yeah,
just
my bad.
disappeared. Nobody ever saw him again.
yeah.
Damn, that's I'm
Cool
gonna
that,
have to
that,
remember that.
that, yeah, you remember some of that.
So that sounds like a
worms.
crazy trip. That's probably like a trip that kind of like changed your
Yeah.
life a bit.
Absolutely, man. I think so, because we even spent one night in a hotel downtown LA. It was that Die Hard building, you know, that everybody skated in the 8th Street videos.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just so iconic,
Damn.
like a landmark.
So like you come back home but then you started getting boards from Reel, and then you start going back out to SF more, or like what happened after that?
Yeah. Well, I would try to spend maybe like a couple months at a time in San Francisco. Like we would work on like doing the Reel nonfiction video. And I think I was staying with Mike Dayer at a time over
Okay.
one winter. I was staying with Bigfoot when he lived by the beach.
Oh, shout out Bigfoot.
Shout out Bigfoot. And you know, everything just kind of, I guess, evolved, and you know, we were able to get a lot of that done. I think that nonfiction movie was one of the biggest, like, that just exposed us.
That was your like
To the
entry
world.
into the game.
Yeah.
How was that? Who when you officially got on Reel, who was all on the team?
It was like Drake Jones, Sean Mandoli, Joey Bast, Huff, Matt Fields. Later down the line, like Nate Jones and those guys, right?
That's a solid squad, right?
Yeah,
there.
it was.
Hitters.
Oh,
Joey-
Ben Liversidge too.
Oh yeah. Ben
Hitters.
Liversidge.
Yeah. But then,
Damn.
you know, there were off brands starting. You know what I mean? There was, like, I love the history of fun skateboards. Like how that started.
Oh, like Ron Allen.
Yeah, Ron Allen.
Because we got Huff and Keenan rode for fun.
Yeah, their first pro
That was
boards.
their first sponsor before Huff went to Reel and
Right.
Keenan went to Blind, I think.
Uh-huh.
I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah.
Ron Allen kind of put them on.
I heard a crazy story.
I want to hear it.
I heard Tony Mag owed Ron Allen like a grip of money
From H Street.
from 8th Street days, and didn't pay him in cash, but paid him in T-shirts. And then
That got to be a lot of T-shirts.
yeah, it was a lot. It was like, and then he brought all those boxes to Deluxe, and they traded it in for a board company.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
But
a
that you gotta ask Ron Allen about
Yeah.
that. He's like he's the man behind that.
So they got a bunch of T-shirts, and they're like, "We'll help you to just give us these shirts, and
Yeah.
then we'll help
In exchange.
you in exchange, and we'll help you to like
Start a board
Start a
brand.
board brand.
Yeah,
Why? Because was Fun through Deluxe?
it was.
Wow, I never knew that. I never really put
then,
that two and two together.
I think Metropolitan started back then. The wheels.
Metropolitan did start back then. Yeah, it was a wheel company.
And like I think Gio Estevez was behind like the art and helping Huff back then with that. Like I got my Metropolitan shirt on today, man.
Nice. Shout out Metropolitan.
Still love those guys.
Yeah, they
they're
are
moving
back.
right now,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So you started just spending a lot of time out in SF then, like you were going back and forth. I remember seeing you at the pier.
Yeah,
a couple times.
I guess rest in peace to Ruben Orkin.
Oh, Ruben
He
Orkin,
He was the guy who started Spitfire, and I sat down with him in his office. He was like, "Hey, what do you want to do? You want to do a wheel?" I'm like, "Yeah, I would love to do a wheel. I want to do it with these colors like red, gold, and green, and we did a red, gold, and green board with a lion. And I still have a piece of that wheel left over, but it's so cool, you know, just to get these opportunities. Like, I was young, you know what I mean? Didn't really know what to do with it, but I believe like it helped establish the foundation, you know. And
I mean, the only thing that you needed to do was do what you were already doing.
Yeah, we were working with Gabe Morford. He was the photographer. He worked me like a horse, you know. But it's that type of determination, discipline, and just like being on the road. I remember I wasn't drinking or smoking at the time, so it was much more easier to wake up and skate.
Remember that,
every city we went to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I have stories of, like, we were in Canada, everybody's going out, you know, to drink. I'm sitting in the hotel just like, I'll see you guys tomorrow, I guess.
And that was kind of frowned upon in those days.
Yeah.
You were like the nerd if you didn't go out and
guess
like,
so.
drink and shit.
You know,
And some people
I was reserved, you know.
maybe not in that squad, but I don't.
No, the squad I was with at that time, it was Stereo, Real, Anti-Hero. So these guys got in a fight with like 17 punk rockers, like squeegee punks
This is in Canada.
in Montreal.
Oh,
Bro, they came back like it was a war bath, like a bloodbath. Like, they came back like, yeah, we did it, you know. And like, what they do, like, they put trucks inside of pillowcases and went out on a war path. They came back, but you know, even though Andy Roy, like someone broke something over his head, bottles, but Andy Roy came back and his back of his leg was like stabbed, slashed. And
like they could cut a tendon, that would be all over.
Someone, my man Mickey Reyes sewed it up for him.
What?
But then like sent him home, and the next day he went.
Sent him home on a Greyhound.
He had to leave.
Too.
Yeah.
Imagine that, Rod.
But even getting into the
Andy
country
Roy.
with those guys, like the police stop us, and they're like, "What's that in your wallet?"
Yeah.
What's that? Crack rock. He's like, and Andy Roy was like, "No, it's my tooth."
He's a wild one, dude. My boy was his cellmate for a minute in Santa Cruz.
You seen how he looks now? You know he has a brand new grill.
Oh, he got that.
Crispy. He got the
Shiny
No, he's
white.
looking good, man. Look, shout out to the man. Look, he's right there on the screen.
Shout out Andy Roy.
Yeah.
Look
But
at that.
the funny thing is, though,
It's crazy timing.
he's like older now. He's still like got his rugged look, but he got a perfectly.
He
white
got them
17.
pearly whites. He's
I
camera
don't know,
ready.
it doesn't really match with the rest, but
I watch the gram. I see him with like hanging with like Bam and his son and doing. That's good, man.
nah, it's good
That's
for him.
dope.
Yeah.
Really good.
So you were going on tour. You were like you were just kind of sober, the sober guy, just witnessing and taking it all in.
Yeah. We skated the contest called Taj Mahal
Oh, in Montreal.
in Montreal.
I've been to that spot before.
for years. It's got shout out to Raj. But yeah, there were some great experiences. I love Canada. For one, I fell in love with Canada when I was 23. I went on a cross country tour with Canadian skaters.
Okay.
Underworld Skate Shop, and the video surfaces on the web. It's like 10 episodes, but it's really cool because it just brings back a flash of like memories. We were there during the blackout when Toronto had a blackout, New York City had a blackout.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if you remember that.
I heard about it. I heard it was like a free for all in the city.
Yeah, people were
It's like anarchy.
It was like they looted our van and took cameras and stuff.
Oh damn.
Yeah, stuff ended up missing,
Uh-huh.
but we still made it out there. And what else could we talk about?
Was Mickey Reyes the team manager at that time?
Yeah,
Because he was a wild one too.
he was.
I don't know if you guys remember. Mickey used to be a San Francisco police officer.
Yeah, I think his dad was the sheriff.
And he got. Yeah, he got. I mean, don't quote me on this, but like he got in trouble as a cop. Yeah. I don't know what he
Lost
did.
his privileges.
He lost his So then he went from being a police officer to a team manager.
Yeah. I heard he owns like a coffee shop somewhere.
He's doing great. I love
Portland or
Mickey. He's doing really great. But he was kind of
seeing the stickers.
But
he
yeah,
was a rugged one.
You
back
know,
in the
during
day.
those times, it was difficult because, you know, my brother and I, we were both like trying to achieve the same thing and do the same purpose and like be around the same people. But like, I feel like all through my brother's skateboarding experience from when we were kids, he was never favored to be a part of the same team I was on. I don't know why. I think it's just something to do with like maybe the person behind who owned the shop, or I don't know. It was just like they didn't look at it as twins as being marketable. I don't know. But he never achieved that opportunity. That's why, like, everything I do, I do it in memory of my brother, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like
That's
I
slow.
feel like everything should be in his, it's for him, you know what I mean? It's like,
That's awesome.
he left a legacy for me to preserve, and I have all of his art, paintings, you know, of his work that he did. And it's something that it has a lot of value to me and my family.
Well, of course.
You know?
Of course.
So when I see people, I think a lot of kids nowadays, they deserved all the opportunities we had and more, you know? So I think there's a lot of new platforms, social media, skateboarding, that gives people a platform to express themselves, put themselves out there, and get respected and acknowledged. Because when people don't acknowledge you or ignore you, put you to the side, that's when things
Invalidate you,
things
kinda.
when you don't get validated.
Exactly.
That's when a lot of things could happen, like depression, you know, people getting sick, people doing drugs, going down the deep end. And I think it happens over and over. We see it happening.
And I feel like even back in our day, the way that you show love to somebody is kind of by like putting them down. Like our friends, I think in the 90s, like nobody would ever, they would big you up, but they would also kind of put you down at the same time. You know what I mean? And I feel like if you might be already feeling like a level of depression or any kind of way, like how that wouldn't add to, it doesn't add to making you feel better. You know, it's just an environment that was kind of structured. It was a harsh environment. You know,
like something my dad was an old school cat, so he'd always just drop gems. You know, like he was 70 when I was 20 years old. You know, he was an older guy, and he would always tell you like quotes from books he reads, and he would say, "It takes a fool to criticize, condemn, and complain, but it takes like an expert to give you credit, praise you, you know, and give you the acknowledgement, you know, and
It's real wise
forgiveness,
words.
you know." And I think it's important we acknowledge each other when we're skateboarding, you know, making music or anything you believe in is real.
for sure.
You know, it could, you know, it has the potential to become more, you know.
That's a fact.
So,
It's
you
that
know.
iron sharpens iron mentality. Love that.
Like you got the Harold sweater on. You work a lot with Harold Hunter Foundation. I mean, Harold was probably going through his own things that nobody probably acknowledged.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a big thing we try to do with the Harold Hunter Foundation is to help the youth out that were a lot like Harold so that, you know, they can be acknowledged and don't have to go down any difficult roads mentally, you know? Just
Yeah,
have a great
Harold was a
support
big
system.
brother. He would always, like, we would go to, like, a house party. He would turn around and say, "It's not your type of party. Go home. Go
He'd say
home."
that. Harold would say that to you.
Yeah, and I'd be like, "All right, why?" And I wouldn't ask any more questions. I just took my ass home.
That's he's looking out for you.
Yeah, I
You
think-
know,
I
it
think
might
he
come
really
off
did.
as, you know,
Oh,
love.
man, that is
big
love.
bro love.
Hell yeah.
But
great.
I took him to Canada, took him to Woodward Skate Camp. We were in Vegas together for the Magic Show when Zoo York was coming back.
Yeah.
I have shoeboxes of DV tapes that I will be editing in the next few, near future that I would love to just share, and put
Please do.
some segments
For
together
sure.
and just share some of those memories.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm sure you got some gems in there.
Oh, absolutely, I do. I got voices. I got crazy
He's got a museum
stories.
of great things. I've seen it.
Yeah.
So when even in that era, when Zoo started popping off, you jumped back, came back on this side.
Yeah, it was like the day after I got off Real, I got a call from Jeff Pang. He was like, "What you doing?" I'm like, "Not much." And he's like, "Come by."
How did things end with Real? Was that like a mutual thing? Or?
Yeah, it was mutual. They gave me a spot to do an ad for my brother, and I designed it with a picture of him. It was very emotional during time, but it was crazy because my brother and I were doing a mural for a surf shop in Long Island, and I finished it. You know what I mean? We both started it together, but then I finished it.
He had already passed by the time.
Yeah.
Like in the middle of the process.
Yeah, so I just finished it, and then after that, I got a little money for that, and then I got the call from Jeff from Zoo to come through, and we, it was cool. I loved being a part of that. It was such a early stage,
It's strange that things ended with Real though, because from the outside looking in, you always were ripping. Like there was never like a lull, like a slow pace. Like you always put it down. So I don't understand why
there weren't any big serious injuries. It was just, I think it had something to do with my brother, and just kind of moving forward, and I respected that.
For sure.
I went back to school, like finished some college, ended up like getting on Adidas, and I was just like, you know what? It's either travel or school. I'm a travel.
So you were kind of like a crossroads type point.
Yeah.
Like, should I stick with this or should I try something new?
Yeah, and it was hard to make decisions at 18. Zoo was just like, we'll pay you, we'll give you clothes, shoes, boards, if you just ride for us. I'm like, you know what? I'm down with this guy. These guys are sending me to Australia.
Yeah.
We'll send you to Australia. And I'm like, it was hard to make that decision.
What was the
just like,
decision? The decision
I was
was
too
to
loyal, man.
Was the decision to take all in one package, like Zoo clothes, Zoo boards, Zoo? Could you just ride for Zoo boards?
I think that would have lasted longer, but I was just being loyal to the people that I started like being with, and I didn't see that they didn't have my back the way I had their back.
Which companies were like?
This was like Billabong. This was like,
big corporations.
Big.
Those are, they call in a numbers guy. He'll crunch numbers, and next thing you know, you don't have a job anymore.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
But I looked at things like I always had a bigger picture, like a foresight, like where it could be, where it could turn. Like they could give you an opportunity to design some personal stuff, but it's all in your mind, But it's all good. I moved to California in 2003. I was like, all right, I'm gonna pursue my skate career.
But you took the Zoo package. Obviously, we all know the story. You were like, when you were at that crossroads. You rode for Zoo, but then you stayed on.
I stayed on the
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I stayed on the Billabongs and the what else? I don't know what
All the
else
other
I had
stuff.
at the time.
From the outside looking in, because I was a little younger too when I was paying attention, and I thought they were gonna take care of you. Honestly, I was like, okay, cool. Like that's a big corporation. They're gonna fucking push him.
Yeah, we went to Australia with Bucky Lassick and this guy Dan Haney and Willie Santos. Like it was awesome.
Those are like big players in the game at that time.
We were in the 411 videos,
Willie Santos was a big name.
Bucky Lasik is like Tony Hawk.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. We went to see koalas. We went to did demos. It was amazing. insane in a big bus. You know, I got a little food poisoning while I was out there, but it was still an amazing trip. And who do we have as a photographer? Chris Ortiz was with us. Yeah. And but yeah, you know.
But I mean, you were on Zoo, and that whole movement was popping off crazy.
Yeah. Just going to Europe was super fun.
Yeah. Who was on the team at that time? Like, who were you traveling with?
We were with Dimitri. He was shooting photos.
Dimitri Eliaskovich.
Yeah, shout out to Meech Face.
I love Meech Face.
And we were with Supa. Shout out to Supa for everything. He always supported me. He got me on Organica, man. He
Nice.
gave me my first pair of Nikes. You know, he always believed in me a lot, and I respect him for that. He was skating for Treefort. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Vinny Ponte.
Benny Ponte. It was like a San Diego company or something, right?
That was the early DGK.
Yeah,
That was the early KO.
Because that was Troy.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Was Zared on the team at that time?
I think he joined a little bit down the line. But you know, Organica was fresh. It was like grow with us. Carl Watson was like the man behind that, and it was
Shout out
cool. You
Carl.
know, shout out to those dudes. No hard feelings or anything. You know, what I'm saying?
Yeah,
no
for sure.
resents and no. I don't dislike anybody. I appreciate the honest truth over anything. You know, so it's like I know we had hard times. I know people, they were adding to the team. We took pay cuts. People broke their hands. There was one time, like 3 of us, we all broke our hand at the same time. So nobody could skate.
Damn, who was that?
I think it was Aldemo, Nilton, and myself. Like, we broke our hands or something. And like,
that was on an Organica thing.
yeah.
Nilton Nieves.
You know, it's just, I think when companies get big, you know, if they don't care about the rider, you know, how's your health, how you doing, how you feeling? Oh, you need some time? Okay, take as much time as you need. Just deliver that part later, you know.
Yeah.
But like, it's just the way you say it, you know. It's the way you bring and communicate. You know what I mean? It's not, when are you gonna skate again?
Yeah.
Like, come on,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Like, I just got hurt. I just told you I just got hurt.
Yeah.
You know, give me some time to heal.
It's part of the
those
deal.
clips.
But I think it's like everybody's in a time. They have to get things done in a certain time frame.
Did you
all
ever come
business.
across Robbie Holmes on Organica?
Yeah, Robbie
That's a
Holmes.
great question.
Yeah, he was a San Francisco
Yeah, he was
head,
a San
right?
Francisco
Yes, sir.
loc. Yeah,
That was like my generation, and he was the one we were rooting for. Like
Yeah.
he was like, we were around the same age. Like,
He was
skating the
good.
pier. He
Yeah,
was
he was
amazing.
good.
super
He was
good.
amazing.
Yeah.
Who did we see when we would bug out?
Crazy warm ups.
We was skating like
Crazy
Union
warm-ups.
Square. This is when I first met Carl Watson, first time ever. Like, it was just skating there, you know. See Lenny Kirk and it was
Lenny
crazy.
Kirk.
It was. I would always run into Pierre, the crab man. He used to go boogie boarding in the morning. He was a bugged out cat, but
He had some of my
mad
favorite
cool.
clips in the
He's a SF
FTC
legend.
video.
Yeah, he's a
Fri-
legend.
He
He's a
did the
Frisco
Eskimo
legend.
roll.
Yeah.
We
Beer
would get
ball.
hyped seeing him skating the FTC videos as kids. Like, oh, there's Pierre.
So
he ate
the
like crabs
the
alive.
story with Pierre was supposedly he was a gang leader in the 70s.
Wow.
in the Mission District, and he this is the urban legend. Apparently he was like a leader of something like a Norteño or Sereno or something like that, and he got thrown out of a window. This is what I heard when I was a kid, and he got thrown out of a window, and then he just changed his life.
Yeah.
You know,
Sure, he went through
obviously
a lot.
he's kind of like a very eclectic individual, but then he just like started skating and like just getting onto like a total life. If you ever see Pierre again, if you ever trip on his tattoo,
He had like a Bart Simpson tattoo.
he got the Bart Simpson tattoo, but some of the other ones that are like faded
Yeah.
will be like some old school like Mission Street like
Sick,
type gang
sick.
shit. Yeah.
I used to take a bus out to Hunters Point just
Yeah?
to skate
Oh, yeah.
that dish.
See, I wouldn't do that.
It was like it's like an
I'm
old
born and
ditch.
raised in Frisco. I'm
A
not
lot of
taking the
people got
bus to
robbed
Hunters
over
Point.
there.
I heard Poncho lived over there, and he would go to the bus stop and they would run his pockets.
Damn.
Hey,
That's little Ponch.
That's real. And then before that's Pier 39. I'm pretty sure. Like that's even before you get all the way out there. Not Pier 39. The new spot. Third and Army.
Third and Army,
My
yeah,
bad. I
yeah.
take that back. Yeah. Third and Army's right there before you even get out there. But a lot of people would skate Third and Army. That was a fat spot. But yeah, man, stay away from Hunters Point.
Yeah.
Not from there.
For sure. But so when you
Sometimes.
took the bus out there, you didn't have any problems. You were skating the ditch.
I was just solo dolo, like just
They were like, this dude's up here
Taking a
solo. He
weird-
must be crazy.
Yeah,
taking
you
a
probably
chance.
just had the vibe.
They're like, I'm not messing with
probably
him.
saw me
Yeah.
with dreads. I had dreads. I had longer hair back then.
That's dope.
You know, but it was Fort Miley was one of those spots that we would love to go to, and
I lived right by there
you
in
know,
the
it
Richmond
was-
district.
yeah, it was so nice. But I have so many good memories. Just, I think Huff had a house like him and Chris Keefe on Octavio, like somewhere down by
Octavia,
near the Embarcadero area, and we that was like one summer we were all just skating hard, and it was like Ian and Gerard. You remember the Hawaiians?
Yep.
They were DJing at a strip club, a local
Yeah, they worked at-
crazy horse.
Gerard was like the Ian was the DJ and Gerard was the MC.
Yeah, so
He'd be
we
like-
would go there.
Next up on the main stage, we've got Crystal. Fellas, get your tips out. Don't be shy.
Man,
That shouts to Crazy Horse. I
break
think
those
that's still going on.
I used to be
They're still-
sketched out
they're
to
still
even
out.
like step foot in that place. You know,
That's so
just
good.
the smell. It's just
Oh,
funky.
wow. Awkward
Shout out to
smell.
Gerard, man. I love
Shout
that
out to
dude.
them. I think the years. I know he had a sneaker store called Kicks.
That was Ian. Ian, he apparently I think he lives in LA and he's like involved and he had some sneaker store and does all kinds of businesses and
Shout out to all the Hawaiians.
yeah, exactly.
You know, Rob Carleone. And
Spencer moved
Spencer's
out to
out
Hawaii
there.
too.
Spencer's
yeah.
out there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Shout out to
I saw Alex Corcoran went to visit.
Yeah.
Shout out to Alex.
So around this time, let's see, like New York is kind of popping off, and like I saw something the other day which I didn't know about was that you were approached to play Telly in the movie Kids, which kind of like changed. Was that a thing?
Yeah, we went to the auditions.
Uh-huh.
It was a hot, like, summer. We were all hanging out to Washington Square Park, you know, and people, you know, Harold and Justin used to always go to auditions.
Uh-huh.
He'd be like, "Yo, today's audition. Let's go."
Okay, see, I never knew. I didn't know that was actually something they were kind of trying to pursue.
Yeah, they all, you know, I think even Pete Beasy was a Calvin Klein model.
That's true.
Remember
I
that?
mean, there was like even Harry Jumanji.
Mm-hmm.
He did ads for Gap.
That
he
is true. All
did-
the skaters at that time were kind of dipping and dabbling in in
So,
different kind of modeling and.
we had an opportunity, you know, like Larry Clark was auditioning skaters to be a part of his film, and we were all for it, and he loved it. And we went in, and, you know, the first thing they do is take Polaroid pictures.
Like a headshot?
Yeah, like a headshot. I think Leo has those in his gallery. He had a show a while back. He was selling them.
Okay.
But yeah, so we would just like read the first couple scripts, but my script was making out.
This was the role of Telly, right?
I was making out with a hot actress. Her name is Chloe. And
Chloe Sevigny.
I was 16 at the time, man. I was young. I was like a little virgin, you know, just like having fun. But my mom found out after we got a physical done. My older brother was supportive. He was like, "You guys are gonna do great," you know.
Yeah.
But then my mom read the script. She was like, "Oh, hell no, absolutely not."
Yeah.
I guess she just, you know, my mom saw a lot. She had to take care of her brother, my uncle, growing up in New York City during like the Vietnam and the Woodstock and all that. And my uncle kind of didn't go to war. He went the opposite way. He was an anti-war, you know. He was
Okay.
like, so my older uncle was always like kind of a trip, you know. He had like lots of flashbacks, and but my mom took care of him. Like my mom was one of the only girls to never touch weed or and drink back in those days, and
Yeah.
I guess she just looked at it like, nah, that's not something I want for my boys.
She felt like, she felt like it was not a good look or a vibe.
Surprised anybody's parents signed off on that movie. That was a wild movie. Classic.
Nah, but
If they read the script.
I mean, look at every, you know, shout out to Hav.
Yeah.
I'm proud of everybody that
Yeah, I really set off a lot of
doing
careers.
a lot, you know, and but yeah, that's a crazy time.
But also at the time, nobody could imagine that thing would have been bigger than as big as it was, right? Yeah, because
Like the film festivals in different places, for it to be like, wow, that's big.
because Chloe and Rosario, they were just regular. They weren't even famous or anything.
Yeah, because I, you know, my son is 13 now, so I showed him the movie that guy Noah did, skateboard film with the Supreme Kids, with the FA guys in it.
It's a skate video or it's a movie?
Yeah, Jonah Hill.
Oh yeah. Mid 90s.
Yeah.
Mid 90s.
So that has like a take, sort of like the kids movie. It shows like the destructive side of skating. It shows like the adolescent side. It shows how kids are growing up, experimenting with what they have around them. And I showed that movie to my son, and he kind of bugged out. You know, he didn't think like kids his age would be that crazy. But I think it's good exposure to show.
So you showed him that movie, but you didn't show him Kids?
No, we never seen the movie Kids
okay.
yet. No, I don't want to.
You think that's
I think that's something I'll hold on till he's a little older.
Yeah.
I showed it to my son as a precautionary tale. My son's a little older.
You watched the movie Kids with him?
I was like, this is what you don't do, son.
Uh-huh.
He learned.
And I would just, just reassure him that this is just a movie. A lot of movies are always going to be just,
Yeah.
you know,
I mean,
bigger than
it's
it
entertainment,
really is.
so it
Yeah,
has
it's
to like blow.
entertainment,
Yeah,
so
of
it has
course.
to be out of proportion, you know.
Yeah.
The movie was so iconic too, just because I remember it's like, is this even acting? You couldn't tell. It's like
Shout out
everybody
to
had
Eric
their
Gies.
real names.
Yeah.
You know?
You know, it's funny because yeah, maybe in a bit.
All right.
I think that Leo kind of after that movie popped off, like he kind of was reluctant of like the fame or whatever that came with it. Like because he was on, he was on the mission statement. He told me that people in
He
real
was a
life
homeless guy in
in
like
The Wire,
Yeah, The Wire.
something like. But
Yeah,
people in
remember
real
that.
life really thought of him as like, you're that asshole from that movie. And he was like, he told me that it got so intense that's why he like left and moved to London. Because he would be like walking down the street and people would be like, fuck you. And he'd be like, yo, you know it's a movie, right? And they're like, nah, you're that guy. And he'd be in the
Yeah, I mean, that
Yeah,
was
there's
an
a thin
infamous
line
character.
between the realness and what's not real, I guess. Yeah.
It's funny because I was talking
so
with
true.
Leo at his gallery, and we're just both sharing fatherhood stories because we both have kids, and it was just funny hearing him come from a perspective as an adult, like. Because, he's talking about, these kids out here wilding. And I'm like, bro, they probably got it from your character.
yeah.
Back in the day, like,
But I think, being in New York City, man, like you get so exposed to like the production world and how commercials are made, movies are being made. And, I think like through the years, I had like maybe 4 or 5 years of experience doing production work, like driving trucks, doing set decorating, swing gang, we were called the swing gang, just moving around props, taking on responsibilities, it's working under the pressures of production.
Yeah.
And I've been very fortunate to work on 2 featured films.
Okay.
and one of them was Daughter of God, which Big Daddy Kane is in it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
And it's a Keanu Reeves film.
All right.
And then another movie called Freedom, which is Cuba Gooding Jr. And both of those movies took like 40 days, 40 nights, like hard work, man.
And what were you doing exactly on the film?
I was a set dresser.
Okay.
So all I did was drive the big cube trucks, go uptown. We would go to these prop houses, pick up all the props, drive to Connecticut, drop it off, work with the set designers. R.I.P. this guy named Sergio from L.A. Like, I was like, he was my mentor. You know, he was do this, do that, do this, do that. You know, it's a lot of work, a lot of 13-hour
How did you get into
days.
that?
I got in it through a friend of mine, this guy Muhammad, and he was a DJ at the Cub Room, and I would always cover for him when he was sick or something. So I was DJing, and we were just spinning records, and then he started doing jobs like with like everybody, MTV, Saturday Night Live. We did Nike commercials. We did everything.
Okay.
You know, there was also a production company that Freddie was working with, that's Pink Sparrow.
A lot of skaters worked there. Yeah.
I was working there for a year.
Yeah. Okay.
I did like a year's work with them.
I just started. I used to work there before, just recently.
Yeah, it's like a wood shop where you get to know, you get to learn how to make like custom designs for showrooms. And you know, we did the GQ magazine release party for the what's that team? What's that band? The hot rod team.
I think it's ZZ Top.
ZZ Top
ZZ Top
performed.
The original Beards.
Girls, what's the
Are you cool
girls,
with
girls,
Pat?
girls?
By any chance?
Yeah, I know Pat.
He's still over there
Word.
running stuff.
Shout out to
Pat
Pat,
Hill.
man. We've been skating forever, man. That guy skated forever. But yeah, you know, that's a big experience. It's fun. I learned a lot from it, and I just I love skateboarding.
Yeah.
I love how I could come back to skating anytime.
sure.
But
I wanted to ask you something about Organica, because like Organica is obviously it was an amazing team, but it seemed like everybody on the team kind of had the same kind of vision of like life and the way that this is from the outside looking in, the way that they perceive, the way that they approach things in life. It was kind of like Organica was kind of like the only board company that actually, not in a marketing way, but like had like a spiritual path to it, and it was organically marketed that way. Like, when writing for the team, do you feel like everybody was kind of on the same wavelength, or like, how was the vibe with that?
I think Organica felt like, for me, it felt like a continuation of what I was doing with iPath. Before iPath, Matt Fields had a company called it was called Half-Life.
Okay.
And they took like, this is before anybody did it, you know. He did recycled plastic bottles, like fleece sweatshirts. He did hemp. He was working with hemp,
all those things that are like cool now.
Hemp pants for skateboarding, and you know, it was. And then he got Bigfoot to design the iPath logo, and then they got someone to support it and invest it, and they did a remarkable job with that.
With iPath, they blew up.
They blew up until they got bought out.
They got bought out, right?
Damn.
Timberland
That's right.
I did not know that.
bought them.
Yeah. Timberland
And
bought
I think
iPath.
New Balance bought them after that.
Is iPath still around these days?
I don't know. It might be on the shelf somewhere.
Very coveted. I see.
Did they?
It was too good.
Yeah. Did they
I
buy
see, I
it
see.
to shelve it?
Yeah,
Like rappers and stuff?
that's what a
Yo,
company
they do
probably
that.
would do. You know, if they feel like, oh, it looks like too much like a Timberland boot.
Oh,
You know,
they're gonna be
so we have
competition.
to
We're gonna
we have to
take
change that.
because like Budweiser will do that with beer companies. They'd be like, oh, I think they did that with St. Archer's Brew. Maybe they're like, oh, these dudes are coming up. Like, we're gonna just buy it and dead it.
That's crazy. that
Quiet
they do
them
that
real
nowadays.
So they just paid them off. I don't know how much, but you know, hopefully it was more than less, you know.
But Matt and them kind of caked up off that, right?
Yeah, I think they were all going through some changes in their life, you know, for the better.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I mean, as we all do.
It was pretty heavy, bro.
Yeah.
It was pretty heavy. Like the skate scene, for me, I've seen the worst. When I moved to LA, this is when KO, DGK just started.
Yeah.
Like everybody was on something. Like I'm not Stevie, but I'm saying like the filmers, the skaters, everybody was popping pills, doing lots of alcohol. It was bad, man.
I remember when the pill thing became like
I used to drive pro skaters around in their own car. You know what I'm saying? They would just give me the keys. Like
That's
the best of the
crazy.
best.
Yeah. And they're like,
You know?
Yeah, people didn't know at the time. I remember, early 2000s. That was
The
just
early
a thing.
2000s, a lot of people got caught up on like Xanax and like all these weird pills.
I'm really happy to see everybody clean up
Yeah,
their
for
lives
sure.
and just like manage their families better. It just brings everything back together. You know, it brings your family, your passion. When you see that deteriorate, you know there's a problem.
For sure.
And you got to correct that. You have to take care of yourself better and, you know, evaluate yourself from the outside in, you know, because, I think like if we had managers back then, personal trainers, the way they do now, we would be like invincible.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I know. It's true.
I'm really happy to see like what skaters are doing for themselves today.
100%. It's a whole different ball game nowadays. The way
Yeah,
they
the new
take it very
generation, I
much.
feel like
Yeah.
they take care of themselves. They're pampered in a
man.
good way.
Oh, man, I'm like I was blown away to see like I was just like going through the gram like, and you see like fucking Drake giving I Shot a shout out. You know, it's like what the hell? Like
I know,
that's millions
skaters
and
are
millions
like
of
celebrities
views.
now. It's crazy.
You see like Eli Reed like Rihanna wearing one of Eli Reed's t-shirts. Like, whoa.
Speaking of Eli Reed, how you feel about his dance moves? I love it.
Respect, massive. Blip, blip.
Shout out Eli Reed. We love you, man.
One time I was out at Flushing Meadows, and I saw him out there, no skateboard. He was just dancing with the dance cross. Like, respect. Got the moves.
And just like to see the skate parks in Jamaica. In places like
he's doing it. I think he was out there like the whole pandemic or something.
Yeah, like teaching kids how to skate.
That's amazing.
What a good feeling.
As far as like, so right now, do you have a board sponsor or like what do you got going on nowadays?
Nothing in cement. Like I had an opportunity to work with Politic a few years ago to do like my own series, which was like a National Geographic collage I made on a painting. The help from this guy, Greg, he helped me break it down into the computer onto templates to make it look right for a board graphic. And then that did really well. And I was able to show the paintings it was like the 50th anniversary of JFK in D.C. A few years ago. My man Jimmy Peltier from DC Wheels.
Yeah, I know him.
He invited Paulo, JTMR, Jonathan Reeves,
the man,
Ron Allen, and myself to go out there to promote. Like there was a cool skate jam that we did at that place, the JFK Center. And they paid us and took care of us. But it was cool because it's like, you know, it was one of my first times to actually put my artwork on a skateboard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? After many years.
I'm surprised by that because most of the time, any skaters that do art, they usually like let them, you know, rock with something.
Well, you know, I've been pushing Sushi Wheels.
That was my next question. I want to know what's up with Sushi Wheels because you still
it all
do
came
that,
down
right?
to like manufacturers and getting people to make the wheels for me and just like sourcing it out. And and kind of partnering up, you know. So last year I was able to partner up with a manufacturer.
That's what's up.
Creative Urethane
Nice.
was bought out
Okay.
by a company in Rhode Island.
Oh, okay.
They do speed skate wheels, like the #1 speed skate wheel,
Okay.
MPC. But they also do sushi wheels, and they helped me produce these wheels, and we were able to make sales over the pandemic, man. It was crazy.
I mean, I heard the pandemic was great for like any kind of
online sales.
For any kind of bikes, like boards were sold out, bikes were sold out, like all like any people were just trying to be outside.
But you know, I don't have like direct. Like I can't just say, "Oh, you want a pair of wheels?" You want
Yeah.
Give me a second. I can't just pull the wheels out and just give them to you. You know,
Yeah.
it's a process. But you know, I'm working with some guys in Canada right now, and you know, we're just setting up some gigs for the summer.
That's
Hopefully
what's up.
things will be right.
Who's
you know?
all on the Sushi Wheels team?
Oh, it's very spread out. You know,
Yeah.
it's like I got some friends in Japan, some friends. My friend Jordan Bandula out of Ontario, Canada,
Okay.
and he just random.
Beatrice is on the team, right?
Yeah, Beatrice. I was I tried to hook her up in the beginning when I was getting. I just believe in people. I see their potentials. You know.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of people like being patient, but it's all good. It's all good.
That's what's up. Yeah.
Yeah. Skaters under super high intelligence.
There you go. That's what I was going to ask you.
Swiss
That's what I was going to ask you.
sushi stands for.
Hard.
What do we got here? You got a bunch of stuff that you brought. Like, let's break down some of this stuff.
Oh, well, Parlay Distribution out of Atlanta, they make burner wax. So we've been making. They actually put a wick on this for me, so it's like a
So this
fire,
is a fire
hydrant.
hydrant.
It's just you know, there's no price
Sick.
point on it.
Yeah.
They could probably make as many as I
And here
ask
you got
them.
the Black Fist.
Yeah, that's
Black
the
Lives Matter.
what public transportation is I think is a skate brand
Okay.
but he makes wax for everybody.
Uh-huh.
He makes wax for the truck companies, for the theories, for a few people, you know.
Word.
And Stoops magazine is a pretty cool magazine out of New York City.
Okay.
My man anyway, Korn
Oh, Corn.
shot this photo. We were in Chinatown. I love Korn because he's an awesome dude.
He
man.
takes good photos, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Corn's the realest.
Shout out to the Korn. Chris McDonald's his name is. Nice. But it's cool. It's a little double spread.
When did this?
Ebby is the guy who does this magazine.
When did this come out?
What, Stoops?
Or is this the latest
This
issue?
is issue 5. I think they're
Okay.
on issue 6 right
Yeah,
now.
Shout out
Okay.
Abby. I did meet him one good
Yeah.
time.
Uh-huh.
Shout
Love
out
that
Ebby.
magazine.
Those guys take like Harley Davidsons cross country and like do like the motorcycle thing and skate,
Okay.
Oh, word.
camp out. And it's
Isn't
pretty,
that like that's like some Heath Kirchard type
pretty,
shit.
pretty gnarly, but respect.
What else we got here?
Well, Underexposure Journal is one of my favorite photographers. I grew up like I don't know. We met here in New York. Her name is Yuri Shibuya,
Okay.
and she would always book trips to New York, and she traveled the
She's
world.
based in Japan.
I believe so.
Mm-hmm.
I believe she's in Tokyo. She might be in Brazil. We don't know.
Okay.
She goes everywhere. And
Nice.
I don't know how she got the budget to travel all those years, but she was able to print some really nice things, and I'm the first page in the book, so
Oh, nice.
I think it means something,
nice.
man. Definitely.
Do you know what the text says? Did she ever break it down for you?
Wow.
I mean,
Oshiawa seni. Genki desu ka?
hey.
Hi. Watashi wa no namai Quim desu. That means my name is.
Okay.
There you go.
Man, you
Worldwide
sound-
international.
That sounds good. You sound like you had me convinced. I'm like, okay, this guy speaks perfect.
Arigato
This guy
gozarimashita.
speaks
Hi.
perfect Japanese here.
Nice. Shout out Japan.
Shout out to the
You spend a lot of time out there, right? You
Yeah, I
have, like, a
really
big-
love it out there.
yeah.
I had a good time. Not enough time,
Yeah.
but
You can always go back.
there were only two trips. You know, one was an iPath trip in like '06, and then '08 I went with Organica, and each time those 2 trips I would stay an extra month
Oh, okay.
by
nice.
myself,
That's what's up.
and I would stay with the filmers and,
Uh-huh.
and some of the skate shop owners.
yeah.
Put me up in some little apartment. And
Okay.
It was amazing.
That sounds
you
great,
get lost.
You know,
in
it's
Japan.
it's important to take advantage of those things like you did when you can. You know, if you have the opportunity to go somewhere
Very
and
true.
Anywhere.
explore a new
Even
culture.
when you're here in New York, like you take yourself to the museum once in a while. Go to a library. Go see some of the, like, not the tourist attractions, but some of the, just like some of the things that have a lot of meaning to what makes New York such
Exactly.
a great place.
That's true.
You know, like I took myself to Yokohama Museum when I was there.
Uh-huh.
To the Silk Museum, where silk is made.
Just
like
you
how,
solo?
like the history solo.
That's amazing.
And it's just like a big educational, you know, everything's, when you educate yourself more with information, you just become a better human being, you know, you become a better person, you know.
yeah,
Live life.
It definitely helps my skating out.
for sure.
To like listen to some new music or old music, you know, like I don't know. I skated to some Wu-Tang in the Organica,
Yeah.
right? But if you do your research and homework, like where did that sample come from? Oh, it came from Albert King, old school blues player, you know. And then you start listening to those records, and oh man, it just opens up a whole new wow, like so much you don't know. There's so much we don't know.
Speaking of music, sorry, that's the next thing I want to talk about because you make music. You and Teddy Beck's been doing your thing for a while, right?
Well, Teddy Powell. He skated for Stereo back in the days. He was one of the first person to leave New Jersey and to move to San Francisco. He was actually one of the reasons we went to SF2 to see him. And he was DJing and. He comes from a musical background, and we always would build with music and DJing. Like we DJ'd the Supra footwear store on Prince when they first opened, and it was when rest in peace Prodigy from the Mobb Deep had his like face on the wall, and they had a party that night. We were DJing, and then
Like actual records.
yeah, we would bring records.
Okay.
Yeah, and then at the new museum across the street, they had a party for us, and Q-Tip was spinning, bro.
Okay.
You know, so it's like to be next to your legendary people that you look up to all these years. You know, it's like amazing. You know.
But even besides DJing, though, didn't you guys do an album together?
Yeah, we did
It's
a
called Chocolate
Chocolate
Girl.
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 in 2015. We put out an EP album, like 10 songs, and put it out on Bandcamp.com, and it was cool. You know,
Go look for that.
It actually appeared in a recent Vans edit that RB put together
Oh, really?
called Brick City.
Oh, okay,
They
nice.
took one of the songs called 6th Ave because we give a shout out to the Brick City. I don't know, it fit. It fit, and it's really cool. It's really cool.
Can you still like download this or like buy this somewhere?
Yeah, I think you could still go on to bandcamp.com/quimtime and find some of those songs.
What exact are you rapping or like are you playing music or what?
Yeah, I'm pretty much rapping over like samples and drums.
Okay.
And people have to just look up Quim Time.
Yeah,
What would they have to look up to find it all?
probably Quim Time. A lot of like, there's some corny videos that we did, and you know, some that were taken down. You know, I really didn't put too much. Like, I didn't look at it. I don't look at it as a career.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's more of like a therapeutic way of getting things out that need to be.
For sure.
Like another extension of your art.
You know, it's like
Yeah.
during this quarantine, like I probably made like 300 songs. You know, like
Really?
I just write a lot, and
Yeah.
you know, it just helps you know that there's tomorrow. There's everything's. We're all gonna make it out okay. You know what I'm saying? It's not. I look at some of my friends like they travel in the world still. You know how? I don't know.
Diddy bop all over the world.
There's people in Moscow like doing art shows.
Yeah.
My man Harif, you know, like I'm happy for people.
Harif
I'm
Guzman.
happy for my mans. Like I'm
Yeah.
happy for my fams because it's like, how did you get there? Like, you know.
Yeah.
But he's sharing his life. He's also telling a story. Like he wanted me to come with him, but my passport wasn't updated in time. You know,
To go to Russia?
to go to Russia.
Because don't you need an invitation from them, right?
Yeah, you do. But it would have been a cool experience to share my life, like some of the things we've done. We put together a skate film called Compost a while back, and that was
Classic.
also pressed onto a record.
Okay.
The soundtrack was pressed on a record.
So you did the video and you did the music?
Yeah, we did. I did a lot of them, like half of the music in the video, and then Muska got some songs on it.
Oh shit.
Harold got a song on it. Harold was the commentator. That's what it was. I think
Okay.
Some of the
Harold's
best
voice
commentary.
was
Really?
commentated over the film, like he was watching it. He'd be like, John Newport. If my dad owned Newport, I'd throw my board out the window.
Oh, I gotta see that.
So funny.
You
What
gotta
was this
check
video
out
called? Compost?
Yeah,
I gotta see it. Is it on
yeah.
YouTube?
It's on. It has to be on YouTube. I think recently we reposted it.
Yeah.
Like higher quality. So
Yeah, it's
so
in HD now.
Yeah, it's in HD now,
Okay.
high definition. So
If
Yeah,
you
I
want to
gotta see
be
that.
entertained for a good hour, throw
entertaining.
that video on.
it's just like he just talks about it. He's like. He just talks
too
about
funny.
it's great. It's entertaining, and you know, you get a little bit more understanding like where we come from. It's like Quim, he's struggling. What did Harold say?
He said,
something. He's
Quim
having
says,
an
if I
argument with his
smile-
girlfriend.
Yeah. Quim will go, Quim will just smile and then think he's going to land a trick. Right?
Yeah. I just know, like, you know, Greg, I'm glad my brother's next to me now because we both have sons that are in the same age, like 14, 15. And you know, we're good dads. We work. We have a challenge in our life, and that's to be responsible
For sure.
for another life, and that's our children. And
Nice.
I just think it's something that we have to protect our joy
Yeah.
and our light. It's important because, you know, I have nothing bad to say, but a lot of women want to control a man. They want to build a man. They don't want to build with a man. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's important for you as an adult to protect your peace and the honor of what brings you joy. You know what I'm saying?
100% for sure.
Preach.
So like, I just
sure.
been like always like, I know, even though I'm not in the same house under the same roof, I'm still here for my son no matter what.
Well,
You know what I mean?
don't doubt that at all.
And I really try to set up like all the visitation I could to go out there and see him.
Where is he?
He's in
where is
Philly.
he? Oh, he is? Okay.
Yeah.
What is he into? Is he skate or what is he?
Yeah, he skates. He pushes around with his little squad. They call themselves the Posers.
Shout out to
Well, why do they?
My
Why?
man.
Shout out
Why?
to the posers.
It's just the name he came up with. I'm like, that's a cool name.
He's a smart cookie.
He's a smart kid. But he started playing like little sports. Like he tried out for baseball. He said, Dad, it's a little bit tough. And then he just started doing lacrosse.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm like, I hope you stick with it, man. Like, you know.
For sure.
There's
And-
always gonna be a couple big kids bullying you around and pushing you around.
That's part of the deal. That's part of
He
the
holds
game.
his own. He loves
Definitely.
his pops.
But he met some of the greatest pros. He met Jamie Foy
Okay.
at Woodward Skate Camp. We went there with the Harold Hunter Foundation
Oh, nice.
like 2-3 years ago.
Uh-huh.
He met Ashad at the Paynes Plaza. Like,
Okay.
you know, just very humble,
Uh-huh.
you know.
That's cool.
It doesn't. He's not struck by anyone. You know,
Well,
he's
I mean,
not
his
like
dad's a legend, so
doesn't
he
understand
don't
that
need to
yet.
be struck.
And
He's like, I already.
he hasn't really
he's
seen
already
me
in
in
the
action
mix.
though. Like he doesn't get to see me in action too much.
He's ahead of the game. Shout
And what
out
about your
G.
son skates too?
He does. He's actually coming back from a ankle break, foot break that he got.
Oh, okay.
It's so funny because the kid cried wolf so many times that I didn't believe him. He went a whole day with a broken foot, but he's back now.
Because he didn't want to say something, because he.
I mean, you know, with my son, it was a little bit of,
Yeah.
oh, my wrist. I take him to the ER. It's nothing. The one time that it was something, I didn't believe him. But shout out to both our sons, man.
Yeah, Elijah.
They grew up together.
Elijah's son's the livest one.
What is it? What is this? This video compilation that you.
Yo,
brought?
this video compilation has one of my favorite video parts in it. It's called Overground Broadcast in 2008, and it's just my skating in Tokyo, and we spent a month making this, and it was so much fun because it was just nonstop, you know. And in Tokyo skate lifestyle, they sleep till about like, I don't know, like 3 p.m.
Okay.
Start the day.
These are the skaters.
Yeah, some of the
Okay.
skaters during the summer
Uh-huh.
because it's so busy during the day, it's
Yeah.
congested
Yeah.
that you could only skate the cities at night.
Okay.
So we would spend all night just
All night skating.
all night skating. We
Oh,
would skate in the
damn.
day too at times, but most of the skating was done at night.
It's interesting that you say that, because now that I really think about Japanese footage, like and a lot of it is at night. Now that I think about it.
Less congestion, less security, you know. But I want to give a major shout out to Morita Takahiro, who put so much of his life into this, and
But this is like a whole. Sorry, go ahead. I didn't
yeah,
mean to
this is a
interrupt you.
compilation.
It's a compilation, but it's all the whole month of the skating is in this compilation.
No, this is from 1995 to 2008. So
Wow.
I only have an appearance in it somewhere like in 06 and then in 08 is where I have my own. Silas Baxter is in it too.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, because
Oh, okay.
he was like dating a girl, or he lived out
He
there
was
for
out
a
there
little
for a
bit,
while.
and he filmed a video part as well.
Nice.
But
That's cool, man.
you know,
We got classics.
I just wanted to share that because it's rare to see it in the United States, and it's gonna take some time before it gets on the web.
It has a cool film or like a camera on the side.
Yeah.
It's pretty chill.
Yeah, you gotta look into it more and
For
see
sure.
how much time they put into
Hell
it.
yeah.
Like the editing is ridiculous.
That's cool. And can people watch that on YouTube?
Yeah, overground broadcasting
Uh-huh.
and underground broadcasting,
Okay.
and then there's something called behind the broad. But yeah, it's cool. I'm into it, man.
That's what's up.
Very good.
I wanted to. I know you had like a hair salon or a Rasta spot. How was that? What was the story with that? That sounds like an experience.
That was just a relationship I was in, and I had the natural hair thing going. So I helped her design the logo.
Oh, okay.
And I
okay.
I contracted the building for her. Like I sanded the floors down. You know, I picked up a couple
So
trades.
you were dating a woman who wanted to open a salon.
Correct.
Okay.
And she still has her business
She
to
got
this
the
day.
spot. All
It's
right.
just at a different location. You know, I try not to burn bridges with anybody I
Yeah.
meet. But so still got a lot of love. But you know, I got a new love of my life. You know,
what's I mean, love comes and goes.
Yeah.
You lose one, you find another one.
yeah, you gotta move on sometimes.
I thought
Shout
it
to
was.
love.
I thought it was your business.
It wasn't.
Oh, okay.
I just helped her.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to just, you know, we spent like $2,000, bro,
Uh huh.
on making in appearance look like 20.
Yeah.
You know, we're just going on
Y'all did that
Craigslist.
with a decent budget.
There was businesses going out of business, getting rid of their old stuff. I was taking it. Like we were so blessed to find free stuff online and
the shop was like it was just like specializing in dreads and stuff.
dreads, braids.
Okay.
Like pretty much like people with more thick curly hair than me. You know.
That's what's up.
But you had the nice locks for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why'd you cut the locks?
You know, it's just there's time and place for everything. So
I'll tell you one thing. I had dreadlocks when I was like 16. I had them for like a couple of years, and when I cut them off, I loved them. But when I cut them off, I was like, this feels good.
yeah. It took a lot of weight.
Like, my head is light.
Yeah.
I was light as a feather. But you know, I think it's just it comes with like you're entitled to be yourself, you know.
For sure.
Yeah.
Constant evolution.
Just you know, don't forget anybody along the way, you know.
Totally. And also, like, you and Paulo are real close. Like, you guys did some music stuff together, right?
Yeah. We worked with Muska when he was making his album. And I think he used Paulo for sampling some of the
From Sacramento?
stand-up
No,
bass.
Paulo Diaz.
Paulo
Okay, I'm
Diaz
sorry, I'm sorry.
from like Stereo.
I know what you mean.
Chocolate.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, no, exactly. I know exactly.
And
Shark Brothers.
Yeah. I think he's a Sikh. He goes
like
to the
an
Sikh
Indian.
temple. He goes.
Nice.
He got himself.
Because he was playing what was that?
Centaur.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sitars and tablas. That guy went to India to study that stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I didn't even know all that.
Yeah. But shout out to Paulo.
Blessings to him.
You know what I mean?
You saw him skating Jay Quan
Stay
the other
health.
day.
I saw you skating this past Sunday. Church. They call that place church, right?
I don't know what they call it.
They do.
I thought they could just call it Jaquan. I've seen Stevie over there. He's going nuts.
Ripping.
I know. I just seen him do a switch barrel flip 5-0. I was like, okay.
Ooh.
Still got it.
Yeah, I saw him they were just in Miami. My friends just told me they saw him in Miami too.
But when he's in Miami, I don't think he's doing much skating. He's like on boats drinking champagne and shit.
Count them ones, count them dollars.
I just think like nowadays we do it for our kids.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's a reflection. Like if your kids, if it's something that you can't show to your kids, then you might as well not do it.
That's an
You know
interesting
what I
way of
mean?
looking at it. Yeah.
Like musically, art. You know, you don't need to be profane and to get your point across. You know,
Facts.
No, that's totally. And even if you do something that's controversial, you show not necessarily controversial, but you know, a little more adult, I guess. You show it to your kids when it's time, and you explain it to them, like, this is what I did, and this is, you know, things like that.
Some understanding.
But yeah, man.
yeah, Lee.
And you and Paulo, you guys went. You also went out to Spain, right? And you were like hanging out with the Clarwin family.
Yes, you know the Claro
I
family?
know their kids.
You met El Salvador?
I know Salvi and Baltazar.
And Baltazar?
Baltazar, yeah.
Wow.
Was and you went to Mallorca?
I did.
Yeah, because they're from Mallorca.
Yes.
So I was like, oh, snap. He knows these people from Spain.
We have the most bizarre story to tell you.
I need to hear about that story because I know. So these kids, they're these two. I know them from Barcelona. They're skaters. Okay. They skate in Macba. And their dad was a famous German artist.
Painter.
But they lived in like Mallorca, which is that little island next to Ibiza. And they were like just on some
He
really.
was like a surrealist. The guy did Santana Abraxas covers in the 60s. He did The Last Poets. He did Jimi Hendrix.
Is this the guy who did the Bitches Brew? Miles Davis?
Bitches Brew, Miles Davis.
Yes.
His father had an exhibit at the Guggenheim Museum.
Yeah.
And Bizarre called me. He's like, yo, my dad got a showcase. Come and see, you know. And he came to my brother's. I did an art show for my brother, like through a skate shop. This guy was in town for it. He came, jumped on the train to see it, you know. But like,
That's
yeah.
dope.
The story is so bizarre, but it was all timing. We were staying at the hostels, like right off of the Ramblas strips
In Barcelona.
In Barcelona.
Yeah.
And Paulo had like a a juxtaposed magazine with the dad's interview in it, and the interview was titled "The Most Famous Unknown Artist Alive."
Okay.
And we were like, wow. And at the end of the interview, there was a phone number. So we were like, yo, let's call. Let's just, what? You never know. Maybe he'll answer. And we, they got like a payphone at the hostels. So he's like, he's speaking Spanish. He's like, he's like, yeah, my name's Paulo. I'm here with Quim. We're pro skaters. He was like, hold up. If you guys are skaters, my son should know who you are.
Yeah.
So he's like, you know who Paulo is? You know who Quim is? Yeah, chocolate.
Yeah.
Wow.
So like the next few days we stayed in touch with him, and he was like, yo, I want to invite you guys out to Mallorca. Take the next ferry boat ride over. It's like an overnight boat ride.
Yeah, I took it before. Yeah.
And you get there, and we take a taxi to like this driveway that's like takes you up a mountain.
This shit is like a movie.
Through like olive trees. Yo, these olive trees were like 1,000 years old. It was that old. And we get there, and it was just like, it was a trip, bro. We spent the night in his art studio where he makes the paintings. And yeah, it was just like, there's so many random like little memories, but just
How did that
getting
go?
to
Like,
meet.
Where'd you sleep?
They gave us some. They gave us some, like sleeping bags or something.
It's just so
That's
wild
surreal.
off of a phone number
Wake up in the
and
middle of the night,
magazine.
he's like finishing a painting. You're like,
Yeah.
oh shit, what's
So
that?
was Baltazar and Salvi, were they there?
Yeah, they were there.
Okay.
They were there.
When I go to Barcelona, I see those kids all the time because my group of friends in Spain hangs out with them like all the time.
I went there, like, they put there was a while ago, this is like 08, 09, I don't know, I think. And they put out little skate video too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the dad passed away. Actually.
He did.
Yeah.
But we were definitely,
That was cool. You got to
we
hang with him.
we got to
though.
hang with him.
That's crazy, man.
What's their like age range?
The kids?
Yeah, they must
They're
be like
like
20,
they're
20,
like
30.
probably like early 30s. Early 30s now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like 10 years apart or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
5
I
years
think
apart.
Baltazar's a little older.
Yeah. But he's making films.
He like lives in London and is like doing film stuff. Salvi's like in Barcelona. I don't really know what he's doing.
Yeah. Shout out to the Clarwin family.
The Clarwins.
Talk about surreal though. For that whole
Yeah.
experience to happen off a
You know,
magazine number.
Even this is artwork that would resonate throughout all of our childhood. Even Chris Pastures had that board on Everslick. It was like the Bitches Brew, Miles Davis graphic. It was on a
Epic.
skateboard. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, and then Western Edition did it.
Western Edition. I was just about to say that they did a series, like a board series, with his art on it.
Right.
They had a party for it in FTC Barcelona.
That's where I saw you.
Yeah, because I was a part of that at the time,
Yeah.
and I helped open that. And
How long did you live in Barcelona?
I was there altogether like 5-6 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it was kind of long, kind of too long.
Man.
You're a resident there.
And after that, they built like the DC park and everything else.
I
right?
left right when that. I never saw the DC park.
Yeah.
I left right before that was built, and Ruben Garcia and all them were like holding that down.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Winkle.
They tried to do like a barracks type situation with that DC park,
Crazy.
like where they like film clips every day and like upload everything and shit like
Yeah.
that.
Are they trying to save Lassans right now?
I seen something about that on just Instagram. I guess they're trying to tear down
The train
Sans.
station?
Yeah, trying
Where,
to tear that down.
Lorenzo.
Enrique and Raul.
Enrique Lorenzo went to school there. That was like his playground.
Uh huh.
That guy's so good.
Yeah.
Still
When's
shredded.
the last time you went to Barcelona?
I went there. Gosh. It was like 2009.
Damn, it's been.
Went
a
there
minute,
with my
huh?
dad and my we went. My uncle picked us up and we drove to Portugal
Oh, nice. That sounds amazing.
and we stayed in a castle.
That also sounds amazing.
Because my family name has Cardona is a small town in Spain. In between Barcelona and Madrid, there's a town called Cardona.
Okay.
And they have a castle. and they turned the castle into a hotel.
Oh, that's what's
And we
up.
spent the night there.
That's wild.
And I
Y'all,
lost,
see, y'all are royalty.
I
man.
lost my uncle's car keys.
Ooh.
Bro, I was filming a music video. So what I did do, at the end of the night, I went through all the footage, and I'm like, I dropped the keys right there. So I went back to the spot where I dropped the keys.
You found
Were they
him?
there?
Found them.
Yes.
Yeah.
The
But that
mind
was
is a
a
powerful thing.
great place, man.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, it's like an old castle that had a mile of salt caverns. Salt, because
Oh,
salt
wow.
was a
It was
form
like-
of money.
It was a
It
month.
was
Yeah.
a form of currency used to. This is before like to refrigerate your food.
Yeah, you salted your meat and everything so it lasts. Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, for sure.
Old
that's a
school
trip. I
preservative.
never really think about
Yeah.
that.
So it's
What
cool.
what you got coming up for the summer? You got plans? What are you doing? You got anything in the works? Anything you want to plug? Anything?
Just hope to just get to skate more
Uh-huh.
and maybe just like be a part of some events.
Hopefully life gets a little more back to normal. Like,
Yeah, hopefully things start opening up
uh-huh.
where people feel more comfortable. I've been just doing a lot of side jobs. I work with my buddy over there,
The homie.
and yeah, he's he's been skating for a long time, and we
What up? What up? You want to come say what up?
yeah,
You
Nick.
got a mask up though.
Yeah, well, his family used to own an amusement park across the street from a skate shop
Okay.
called Boatcraft.
Uh,
Boatcraft was like where we used to go play video games.
what was it called?
Yeah, in New Jersey,
Okay.
across from Out of Bounds.
Uh-huh.
Quim was like the
Talk to the.
taxi cab. Oh, sorry. Quim was the taxi cab for the local skate kids.
Oh, okay.
That's so good.
uh,
Yeah. My size hasn't changed. At Nolly and Hill Flip, Brooklyn Banks to Bubba Banks, 250 pounds.
you did?
Yeah.
Nolly
Shout
interview?
out.
Yeah. What's up?
Damn. Okay.
Respect,
Flex. Flexed on
And
him.
then you hit the ground and catch syphilis. Instantly.
I had to take
That's
antibiotics.
what happened to him.
He would take us like, he'd be like, we knew he was there because like we lived across the street and shit. And then you were just like, like Batman has like
Yeah.
the
That's
symbol.
Oh,
Yeah.
the bat.
You would
the
just
bat.
see Quim just popping Japans.
Oh,
And you're like, all right, let's go over there. That was his move. He would just
That was like a Jordan. That was like the Jordan
kicker
sign.
Kicker this big, and he would just do Japans like so fucking big.
Have you done that already? Like made a symbol with that?
You should.
He should.
Hey.
We
Talk
were
to
in
them.
Atlantic City one time, and there was a no skateboarding sign, and on the sign it looked like Quim silhouette. I was like, I'm pretty
They
sure
probably,
that's you, dude.
they probably used you.
Pretty iconic.
when you took off in the street ramp into the street with no landing and you just tweaked it like that, that's like something different, man. That's so good. That's so good. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
so different.
I mean, you always the way that you your skating has always been unique
Yeah.
in the best of ways. Like,
Absolutely.
super good, man.
Whole
Yeah,
persona.
for
Very
sure.
unique.
I know I gotta challenge myself more. And still, like just believe in myself more and just continue.
I mean, we all
It's
are
crazy.
our own worst critics, but
Yeah, we are definitely.
King
But-
of skating.
I'm here to tell you, and I'm sure everybody else will agree that you're a legend in the game and everything
you.
you've done is
100%.
amazing. We
Just want
got.
to be alive to give everybody their flowers.
That's what I've been saying. We're watching the Noriega.
I love that.
the
That drink champs is awesome, man.
Yeah,
out Drink
yeah.
Makes
Champs.
sense.
Drink champs. Give them the flowers while they're still here, man.
Absolutely.
That's for sure.
That's the best.
That's
you know?
100%.
deserve that.
My guy.
All love.
All love. I don't know how you feel about this, but we got 12 minutes left. I was gonna see if you guys want to jump in the cipher or what? You trying to spit some? You got everybody got to spit though. Everybody got to spit.
Acapella, herpetella.
I'll beatbox and then I'll try to spit.
No,
yeah,
he's gonna go acapella. We're gonna do acapella.
Oh, acapella. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Sounds good.
Shout out, Sudi. Just before we start anything, I just want to give a shout out to all the international people out there. You know,
Okay, what we got?
Albanian rap, hip hop.
Albanian. Okay, I got a good friend from
This
there.
is some MCs out of Melbourne, Bias B. I don't know. I just love just getting inspired off artists from different places. You know, we influence them. You know what I'm saying? So I'm influenced by the original New Yorkers too.
Yeah, for sure.
New Jersey, even West Coast. You know, I mean, Shock G.
Rest in peace, Shock G.
Shock G.
Yeah, yeah.
There's so many.
A lot of rappers been past DMX. Jesus.
Rest in peace, DMX.
Smoke.
Pop song. Yeah, that's crazy. So you gonna go?
Rest in
You gonna
peace,
go
Ecstasy.
acapella or what? Yeah. How you feel? You feeling the vibe or?
Yeah, it's cool. It's just a quick verse I put together in the past few days. Like I listen to a lot of records when I get home after work, and I just sit back and unwind. You know, I think most of the lyrics is a message to myself. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
It's like if it helps others, then so be it. You know, but it's more of like okay, you still got some skills. You know.
Yeah.
You know, and if it's something that it gets memorized, then it means it's even more. You know, it has. You know what I'm saying?
It has. Yeah, for sure.
It'll stand the test of time.
Stand the test of time. Well, I was just like, oh man, ready? I gotta put the beat in my head.
Go in.
Lay it down, fresh pavement for the squad. Fought the devil but made a promise to God. 4 a.m., meet me by the helicopter pad. I heard so-and-so, yeah, he got the lab. Labrador, have it, y'all, so symbolic. When the bull hooked the matador, so kings got it. Who did it, did it. Too egotistic, might just get caught up in something. Too futuristic, not through the dirt, thank God for the work. To inhabit this earth, a drag for my dirts before his hand touches eye and Peter Pan skip town. Be a man like Mr. Brown and quit dicking around. He's a short shot and ladies wearing a crown. That day will fall off the wall, drip down. Fly fellas, fly like Marcellus. Text reference, the time we break it down in metrics. No fear, dream catcher. Looking nervous, Selassie. Take action, know your purpose.
And open up that third eye.
Hey,
Yes,
that was
good.
fly. That was fly. That was fly.
Respect.
Respect. Respect. That was sick.
That sounds as good as the Eastern Exposure 3 freestyle, man. You still got it, bro.
That was nice, man. That was nice.
That was fire.
One time forever.
Damn. What else? You got more
Drop
bars?
another.
You got some more bars or what?
Yeah,
Greg, you got
let's
bars?
let's
What
take
you
them
got?
out. Let's take them out. Yeah.
Serious?
Yeah, man, go for it.
Blessed by the hands of faith, touch Q. Couldn't separate one love from two. Things we do for great self, not you. No plans of falling off, not you. Putting
Never.
things in your head, what they said's not true. Walk the walk, got to. Oh, brother, I am not a pig, swine flu. Mind you, that the words I eat for the thoughtless, heartless, putting carpets right under your feet. Target your crew, bon appetit, marching through with victorious beat. Funk up the system. Young king, how you living? I'm reset by the sun, I'm charged. Full moon's lit for sons and daughters of God.
Hey.
Let's go.
Hey.
Yo, and Quim got beats too. Quim got beats. Let's never forget that. It's always Quim time.
Shit, this is the pad right here. This is the notepad of fire.
Yeah, we're like, honestly, we're like journalists, we're reporters, we're poets, we're artists. We're,
Analyzers.
you know,
Can I draw a beatbox for you?
ooh,
Drop a beatbox.
Let me see if I can do this.
You got skills though. You got.
Hey, shout out Larry. Larry from the island, everything. Pier 7, he taught me. But this thing's headphones on, so I can't really. Wait, let me try a different one real quick. Let me try a different one. This is like. Oh, you got it. No, but you got to rap though.
Yo.
Uh-oh, Greg,
All right,
Greg, go, Greg, go.
Yo, deep in the light, I feel like life is frightening. Climbing the reach of stars, stumble on the mountain at the sight of lightning. Bearing gems, I like a tight end, one arm extends. Pummeling my opposition, will start to be friends. Forever flicking ashes, till I return to ashes.
Hey.
Okay.
Wait, keep,
That was that. That was fun.
that was fire.
That was for free.
That wasn't written, though. That wasn't written.
Oh, yeah. Off the top, I ain't even had breakfast. May the fourth be with you. Who's on my death list?
Off the top of the head, Lee Smith, EMB. I shoot the gift. I got the drip. I'm getting older, colder. Heart's getting harder. Life is getting smarter.
Yo, my bank account's building with Ethereum coin. I'ma take it back to the Tenderloin. We were doing it out in Fort Miley. You could say he's a frown or he's smiley. Why? Cause I had some butterflies in my tummy. Mushrooms. Uh-oh. What's up soon? Yo, that kid's, coming out of a cocoon. Yo, he's doing something like Dr. Doom, MF Doom, R.I.P. in paradise. What we do for days is what we do for life. Yo, we just pulling the carpet. Yo, don't start the target pass. Yo, it's all good. Taking off the mask. We don't need to ask.
Hey. What you got? You got bars too. I know you got
Spit something.
I feel like you got. I feel like you. I feel like.
All
Who's
right.
that?
He's from Italy. This is my cousin.
Oh, what's up?
He's gonna
Shooty?
rap on there?
Is he gonna rap? I don't know if we could hear him.
¿Cómo está?
You think we can hear him?
I can't do it with this thing on.
Can we hear that?
Yo, me and Larry used to beatbox all the time.
You got freestyles?
That was beast.
That was like our thing.
We just
didn't
had a
rap.
soul session.
Oh, he's working in the pizzeria right
Oh, in the pizzeria. What up, homie? Where is he? In Milan? In Rome?
now. Nah, Formigina.
Formigina. Ciao,
Wow.
bello.
International.
Yeah.
Ciao, ciao.
All right.
Yo, please do.
We're going to put your video on later.
Oh, Nasim. Shout out to Nasim.
Yo, shout out to Nassim Gomez.
Nassim Gomez. What? The Moroccan.
I met
Dutch.
him out in Barcelona.
He's from Holland, I think, but he's
It's a
Moroccan.
ripper, bro.
I was asking him where the trees were. I didn't even know who he was. And
then-
come to find
Then
out
I
he's
came
so
across
ill and
another
nice.
part by a skater named Nassim Lashab.
Really? I don't know that guy.
No, he's.
I know that's a very
crazy.
common name in Morocco.
I don't know.
Nassim.
If you go to Steezy Skateboarding, it's on YouTube. It's
Oh,
a
yeah?
channel. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But shout out to Skip Marley.
That's what's up. That's what's up. You got
Pass
one?
it on.
You got one more little verse? What we got? We got 4 minutes left.
I want to know more about the Eastern Exposure 3 verse. How'd that come about? Was
Oh,
that
yeah.
just another little ditty you wrote in the
That was
books back
nothing.
in the day?
I don't think that was written. I
can
think
you spit
actually
that?
it might have been written, and then it turned into like the ender of a video.
You remember that one? You could spit that one?
Huh.
I watched it. I watched it today or yesterday because I had to do my homework. Yeah, I had to come. I had to do my homework. So
Tonight's the night? No.
Acapella with a herpetella.
Oh yeah. Acapella with the herpetella. Check it. Tonight's the night I'm dropping bombs like a commie. Next to flip the text complex like an origami. You can't kill me, I'm a zombie. This masterpiece is the least to free my peeps like I was Gandhi. Wild styles like Dondi, I'm way out in there yonder. I watch my words ponder as I ponder on the edge. Proper grammar is propaganda we must spread. You better use your head before you use your third leg. I see you hungry as bear, I'll let your greedy ass starve. The culture's like a sculpture for an artist to carve. Hip hop's the crop to harvest, energy to reach your farthest. The lines from Mount Zion is the hardest in this forest. Now we're goddess on our side or within. I be the Joe Quim from within. Protect your neck, watch for the javelin. Extravagant. My 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 man crew, we're not having it.
Let's go!
That was fire.
I had to been like I had to been 15 years
That was
old.
perfect.
You
We
know, I was
needed
young.
that.
I was a youngster.
That's a perfect way to.
That was so hot. I know. Yeah.
shit, bro.
Time.
I had, you know, it was nice little just picture. You know, my brother was there at the time. Everything was cool. It was, yeah.
That was a moment, huh?
Definitely.
Nice, man. That was a classic. Hell yeah, that was classic, man.
Yeah, I want to give pay my respects to Ryan DeWitt too, cause he was the guy that was giving me Vans for a long time.
Yeah, no, DeWitt. Yeah, rest in peace,
You
DeWitt.
are missed.
Yeah, for sure. That was he was a cool guy. I liked him a lot. I was always see him at the House of Vans and shit.
Chopper Dave, what's up?
Chopper. Damn, we got
And Jersey Dave too.
Oh yeah, Jersey Dave.
Dave.
Yeah.
Shout
Yeah.
out.
Jersey Dave. Well,
Shout out.
That's who you were with when I was skating and you came around.
Oh really?
You had some like red vibes on or something.
Oh wow, yeah. You know, we ran into Anthony Claravelle that day, and he was just with some skaters at the banks.
That's
It was
what's
just
up.
it's so cool to see people after like a decade not
Hell
seeing
yeah.
someone, you know.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, we got 1 minute left, so just thank you so much for coming through, man.
Thank you, Lee.
That was fire.
Thank you, brother.
How was
I
that? Yeah,
I
the
couldn't
vibe.
sleep last night thinking about because I know this place. This is so much. It's like I'm very proud, and I'm really glad to be a part of this,
For
Lee.
sure. For
And
sure.
anytime you want me back, I'll be here.
Appreciate that.
You know what I
man.
mean?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Look, this dude put me on to the half cabs, man. Just
Yeah, I
watching
love
them
Vans.
skate.
Yeah, I think Ryan DeWitt actually was the person that did something at the trade show booth. He took all the covers of Thrasher that people had Vans on, and Freddie was one of them doing Switch 5.0 down Hubba Hideout.
Yeah.
And then I had a cover, you know, in New York City, rocking the Camel half cabs, you know, and then there was like Julian Stranger. It was just so many good
Word.
guys.
We got to wrap it up.
Shoot, I don't know.
No, we don't got to like spit anything. We just got to kind of say our
I want to shout out Gabriel, my son. What's up? You know,
Big love
That's
to
what's
ENG.
up.
big
We
love,
love you.
big love.
That's right.
Be yourself before you find yourself by yourself.
That's right.
Shout
Thanks
out
for tuning in.
to our
Thank you
boy
guys.
Nicholas.
Appreciate it.
One love.
Peace.